Deer are one of the most diverse families, with 19 existing genera divided into two major subfamilies, Cervinae, representing the Old World deer, and Capreolinae, the group of New World deer. Among the three tribes within the Capreolinae subfamily, one tribe is now represented by just a single species, and that species happens to be the largest deer ever known. Watch until the end of the video to find out which deer is the smallest and which one is the largest. Moose, also known as the broad-antlered deer, are the largest deer species currently living on Earth. They can stand as tall as 2.6 meters at the shoulder and weigh up to 800 kilograms. They belong to the genus Alces within the tribe Alcini, a branch of evolution that appeared between 6.4 and 8.4 million years ago. The ancestors of modern moose are believed to have originated from Cervalces latifrons in the late Middle Pleistocene, likely forming in East Asia before migrating to North America around 15,000 years ago. In modern taxonomy, two former moose species have been consolidated into a single species, Alces alces. Morphologically, moose are striking with their massive size and impressive antlers, which only grow on males. Moose antlers can weigh up to 35 kilograms and regrow every spring before being shed in the winter. Antler shapes vary across subspecies. North American moose often have wide, palmate antlers, while their European and Manchurian counterparts tend to have narrower, deer-like antlers. Antler size and shape are not just tools for competition among males during the breeding season, but also serve as honest signals of health and fertility. Larger antlers are often associated with higher social status and are typically shed later. Males with particularly striking antlers also tend to have stronger immunity and better reproductive potential. Moose are widely distributed across North America, Europe, and Asia, mainly inhabiting taiga forests, temperate woodlands, and riverine tundra. They especially favor forest areas in the process of recovering from wildfires, floods, or logging, where food sources are plentiful and accessible. Their long legs and broad hooves help them move through deep snow and marshy terrain, while their strong swimming ability allows them to reach aquatic plants with ease. In some regions, moose migrate seasonally, with travel distances sometimes exceeding 300 kilometers, especially in Europe. In areas with low habitat fragmentation, their movements tend to be shorter, while in places with many natural or human-made barriers, they are more likely to remain in fixed territories. From an ecological perspective, moose are considered a keystone species because of their broad impact on forest ecosystems. They shape vegetation structure through their browsing behavior and contribute to nutrient cycling by producing large amounts of droppings each year, an important source of nitrogen for forest soils. However, climate change poses significant challenges to the survival of moose. As a species adapted to cold climates, moose are prone to heat stress when temperatures rise, particularly beyond 27 degrees Celsius. Heat generated from fermentation in their stomachs, combined with the absence of sweat glands, makes them vulnerable to overheating. Additionally, higher cortisol hormone levels in moose hair have been recorded in warmer climates or near areas with wolf presence. This indicates that chronic stress may be affecting their overall health and reproductive capacity. The next group of deer belongs to the tribe Capreolinae. This tribe represents deer with a unique anatomical foot structure known as telemetacarpalian. A distinctive feature of this group is the retention of the distal portion of the lateral metacarpal bone, an ancient trait that reflects the preservation of early evolutionary anatomical elements in the deer lineage. The genus Capreolus, a small yet distinct branch within the tribe Capreolinae, was officially named by zoologist John Edward Gray in 1821. Roe deer are widely distributed across Europe, inhabiting broadleaf forests and mixed woodlands of both deciduous and coniferous trees. They are also found in the taiga forests near the Korean Peninsula, northeastern China, and the Ussuri region of Russia. The coat of roe deer changes distinctly with the seasons. In winter, their fur turns gray-brown or dark brown, with a prominent white patch on the rump. In summer, the coat shifts to a reddish-brown color, and the white patch fades or disappears. Their migratory behavior is clearly marked by seasonal movement patterns and elevation changes. Some populations show partial migration, depending on the landscape structure and the distribution of food sources. Research conducted in areas with wildlife crossing signs has shown that roe deer frequently cross roads, especially during mating season and nighttime hours, often ignoring warning lights. The frequency of road crossings is more closely linked to road density within their habitat, while traffic volume has only a minor influence. Roe deer are selective feeders, consuming thousands of plant species within their environment. About 25% of their diet consists of woody plants, 54% are herbaceous dicots, and 16% are monocots. They may also feed on conifer needles, though this is mainly a winter behavior when other food sources are limited. Their small stomachs and rapid digestion mean they must feed regularly. They eat between 5 and 11 times a day, or more frequently during times of food abundance. Toothwear studies indicate that their diet is predominantly leaf-based, though they may switch to grass depending on the season. Siberian roe deer were once classified as a subspecies of the roe deer. However, from the late 1980s to the early 1990s, genetic and morphological studies confirmed that they are a distinct species. One of the most noticeable differences is their significantly larger size and distinct antler structure. Male Siberian roe deer have antlers that grow upward and backward, typically with 3 tines and several small knobs. Their antlers average between 28 and 33 centimeters in length. The pedicle, or antler base, is also more developed compared to the European roe deer. The distribution of Siberian roe deer is vast, stretching from northern Kazakhstan, Mongolia, and Siberia, through the Ussuri region and into central China. Some isolated populations also persist on Jeju Island in the northern Caucasus and the Tibetan Plateau. Fossil records and ancient DNA from Denisova Cave indicate several waves of population replacement over the past 50,000 years, reflecting intense climate fluctuations from the Pleistocene to the Holocene. Population densities are highest in grasslands and floodplains where food is abundant, with records of up to 12 individuals per 100 hectares. Siberian roe deer undertake long seasonal migrations, especially in September and October, ranging from 100 to 300 kilometers. Sometimes these journeys can span up to 500 kilometers, usually taking about 40 days to reach their summer habitat and return in spring. Siberian roe deer are also targeted in commercial hunting in Russia and China, providing both meat and antlers, with sport hunting being strictly regulated. In Mongolia, hunting permits are sold for about $550 per individual. However, their grazing role can occasionally lead to minor crop damage for farmers in neighboring areas. The remaining member of the tribe Capreolinae is the genus Hydropodes, which currently includes only one extant species, the water deer. This is a strange and distinctive species of deer, first described by Robert Swinhoe in 1870. Although it was once placed in its own subfamily, Hydropotinae, confirmed that Hydropotes is the sister group to the genus Capreolus. It is now classified within the subfamily Capreolinae, based on its telemetacarpalian anatomical structure, similar to that of other hoofed deer species. Water deer are native to East Asia and primarily inhabit wetlands, marshes, grasslands, and lowland areas with dense vegetation. Their ideal habitat consists of regions with enough grasses and shrubs to provide cover, allowing them to hide and forage effectively. One of the most striking physical features of the water deer is the absence of antlers. This is the only deer species in the group that has evolved to lose antlers entirely. Instead, males develop 2 elongated upper canine teeth, which protrude prominently from the jaw and give them the appearance of vampire deer. These tusk-like canines serve both as a means of defense and as tools for marking territory during the breeding season. Historically, water deer were widespread across China, but today their range is significantly restricted and fragmented due to habitat loss and overhunting, especially in areas south of the Yangtze River. Current populations in China are known to survive in 4 isolated regions: the coastal areas of Jiangsu Province, the Zhoushan Archipelago, the Poyang Lake area in Jiangxi, and the Dongting Lake region, spanning Hunan and Hubei. The recovery of many forested areas, thanks to strict conservation programs, has provided favorable conditions for the growth of water deer populations. Among these, Quandian County in Liaoning has been identified as the most promising region for ensuring the long-term stability of the species in northeastern China. Within the Cervidae family, the tribe Capreolinae is the most species-rich, with 7 genera and 20 recognized species. Within the tribe Capreolinae, the genus Rangifer stands out with a single extant representative. The reindeer, also known as the caribou, scientifically named Rangifer tarandus. Reindeer are the only deer species in which both males and females grow antlers. The antlers are shed and regrown each year in a cycle, beginning in spring and reaching full size by summer. The subspecies variation within Rangifer tarandus clearly reflects ecological diversity. Some subspecies inhabit tundra or high mountain environments and follow distinct migratory patterns, while others living in taiga forests adopt a more sedentary lifestyle. Tundra reindeer migrate hundreds of kilometers seasonally, both in elevation and longitude, whereas forest-dwelling reindeer tend to remain within a fixed range, favoring habitats with shallow snow and dense canopy cover. These behavioral differences are mirrored in skeletal morphology, especially in the structure of toe bones, reflecting locomotion strategies adapted to different terrains and climatic conditions. Reindeer possess a complex fat system as a key physiological adaptation to cold climates. White fat stores energy, while brown fat and the browning of other fat tissues help produce non-shivering heat, critical for body warmth, especially in young individuals. Bone marrow fat in the metacarpal region also plays a crucial role in energy metabolism during early spring, a period marked by severe nutritional stress following the long winter. Reindeer also have an exceptionally keen sense of smell, allowing them to locate food hidden beneath deep snow. Their eye retinas adapt seasonally, shifting from yellow to blue in winter to enhance ultraviolet light detection and improve vision during prolonged periods of darkness. In addition, reindeer exhibit unique immune system mechanisms. Genes involved in interferon and chemokine responses, such as CXCR1, CXCR2, and IFNW1, are essential for viral defense, supporting survival in highly variable and harsh environments. Certain genetic elements, including zinc finger proteins like show signs of strong selective pressure in wild populations, contributing to the distinctive genetic adaptations of reindeer. Slightly more numerous than the genus Rangifer is the genus Hippocamelus. This genus currently includes 2 highland species, endemic to the Andes of South America, and the South Andean deer, or huemul. Both species exhibit remarkable survival abilities, adapted to the cold temperatures, thin air, and low oxygen levels found at high elevations. They contribute to the Andean ecosystem by interacting with soft vegetation and supporting the regeneration of recovering forests. The taruca primarily inhabits Peru, with smaller scattered populations extending southward into Bolivia, northern Chile, and northern Argentina. This species spends its entire life in the Andes Mountains at elevations ranging from 3,500 to 5,200 meters above sea level. Taruca typically occupy rocky mountain slopes, quinnual forests, and puna grasslands near glacial lakes. Meanwhile, the huemul, a rarer species, has been listed as endangered by the International Union for Conservation of Nature and placed in Appendix 1 of the Convention on International Trade in Endangered Species since 1996. The global population of this species currently numbers fewer than 2,500 individuals, scattered across forested regions of the Andes in Chile and Argentina. The huemul is a national symbol of Chile and has been recognized as a National Natural Monument since 2006. Memorandum of Understanding on the Conservation of the South Andean Huemul. This agreement aims to prevent illegal hunting, restore habitats, and control disease outbreaks. Cooperative activities include monitoring, field surveys, data updates, research on historical distribution and genetics, the development of bilateral action plans, livestock management in sensitive areas, and raising public awareness. In the Huemules Valley of Bernardo O'Higgins National Park, which contributed to population growth of the Huemul between 2001 and 2004. The next members of the tribe, Otocoilenae, are the 3 species within the genus Otocoileus, distributed widely across North America and parts of northern South America. Among them, the mule deer inhabits the western regions of the United States. Since 2007, its populations have declined significantly, primarily due to harsh winter conditions, especially the low survival rate of fawns. Migration plays a critical role in optimizing resource use and reducing predation risks across vast distances. In summer, they move to higher elevations. In winter, they descend to lower areas, with annual migration distances ranging from 50 to 260 kilometers. Natural gas development, such as drilling wells, pipelines, and related infrastructure, has disrupted these migration routes, forcing mule deer to adjust their timing and movement speed to minimize exposure to these disturbances. Mule deer also exhibit a behavior known as green wave surfing, tracking the seasonal flush of vegetation growth to maximize nutritional intake. Late migrating individuals often move about 2.5 times faster and spend roughly 72% less time resting in order to catch up with newly emerging greenery. A close relative of the mule deer is the white-tailed deer, an iconic and familiar species, often the first that comes to mind when people think of deer. It is one of the most successful large mammals in North America, with around 38 subspecies and high genetic diversity, ranging from Canada through Mexico to Central and South America. However, this species has been confirmed to carry SARS-CoV-2 in a subclinical silent manner, with antibody prevalence reaching up to 40% in some U.S. states. A divergent variant was identified in Ontario, Canada, featuring 76 mutations compared to the original strain. This suggests that the virus may be evolving independently within the white-tailed deer population, with evidence of transmission back to humans. Research has confirmed that this species has the potential to serve as a persistent viral reservoir, enabling bidirectional transmission between deer and humans, and raising concerns about the emergence of novel variants originating from the wild. A particularly unique species within the genus Otocoileus is the Yucatan brown brocket. This small swamp-dwelling deer is native to the Yucatan Peninsula, spanning Mexico, Belize, and Guatemala. It was once classified within the genus Mazama, specifically the mahogany Mazama group, but recent genetic and morphological analyses have placed it in the genus Otocoileus. Studies using camera traps and DNA analysis have offered insights into population density, structure, and movement patterns. Findings show that the Yucatan brown brocket is concentrated mainly in protected areas and primary forests, with sparse distribution in cleared or disturbed zones. This underscores the critical role of reserves like Calakmul and Rio Bravo in preserving essential habitat for the species. The International Union for Conservation of Nature classifies the Yucatan brown brocket as vulnerable. Its primary threats include habitat loss, illegal hunting, and population fragmentation caused by agriculture, logging, and road development. Although not a preferred target for predators, its limited distribution makes the species particularly sensitive to environmental changes. Unlike the Yucatan brown brocket, the true brocket species belong to the genus Mazama. The name brocket comes from the Old French word brocart, used to describe a second-year male deer with unbranched antlers. Mazama is one of the most diverse genera within the tribe Otocoilenae, containing approximately 9 species of brocket deer. The red brocket is the largest representative of the genus Mazama, notable for its robust build and distinctive appearance. With an average weight ranging from 20 to 40 kilograms and a shoulder height of about 65 centimeters, it is the most sizable brocket deer species, well adapted to the dense forest environments of South America. Males have antlers that are typically short and lack pronounced branching, an evolutionary trait oriented more toward reproductive signaling than physical combat, as seen in larger temperate deer species. Male-to-male competition typically involves displays or close-range clashes rather than open-field battles. This species shares a close evolutionary relationship with the genus Autocoileus, whereas brocket species found in Bolivia are more closely related to Pudu or Azotoceros bezoarticus. This suggests that Mazama is not monophyletic, but instead polyphyletic, consisting of lineages that do not all share a single common ancestor. Although the Central American red brocket is a distinct species, it has often been mistakenly classified as a subspecies of the red brocket. The two share many external features, including a compact build, a striking reddish-brown coat, and simple antler structure in males. However, they have been separated into two distinct species based on genetic differences. The gray brocket is one of the most common and easily recognizable deer species within the tropical and subtropical forest ecosystems of South America. It is characterized by its distinctive gray-brown coat, completely lacking the reddish pigmentation found in some other Mazama species. This species shows strong adaptation to habitats, with moderate to dense vegetation cover, including shrubby grasslands, open forests, and dry tropical woodlands. Once considered a subspecies of the gray brocket, the Amazonian brown brocket has since been recognized as a distinct species and is nearly endemic to the Amazon region. It primarily inhabits the dense tropical rainforests of the Amazon basin, where continuous vegetation cover provides both shelter and essential food resources. The dwarf brocket is a small deer species endemic to the Andean highlands. It inhabits environments marked by extreme fluctuations in temperature between day and night, as well as low oxygen levels due to elevations ranging from 2,500 to over 4,000 meters above sea level. The only representative of the genus Blastoceros within the tribe Autocoilenae is the marsh deer. This is the largest wild deer species still living in South America. It stands between 100 and 122 centimeters at the shoulder, with a body length ranging from 183 to 200 centimeters. The largest individuals can weigh up to 150 kilograms. Marsh deer display limited migratory behavior, closely tied to water cycles. They move between flooded areas during the wet season and drier ground as water levels recede in search of new food sources and safer habitats. Their hooves measure about 7 to 8 centimeters in length and are broad and flat. Flexible skin between the toes helps distribute body weight more evenly. This adaptation allows them to walk easily on soft ground and wade through water as deep as their belly. They can cross shallow water under 70 centimeters and leap efficiently when quick movement is necessary, especially during flood seasons. Male marsh deer grow large, dark yellow antlers about 60 centimeters long with 4 to 5 tines per side, weighing between 1.65 and 2.5 kilograms. Unlike many other deer, their antlers do not follow a strict annual shedding cycle. Instead, shedding occurs unevenly, and some mature individuals retain their antlers for up to 21 months. Because the antlers serve more as display than as weapons, they are rarely used in combat or territorial disputes. Historically, marsh deer ranged widely throughout tropical and subtropical South America. Today, they survive only in a few major wetland systems, such as the Pantanal in Brazil, the Ibera wetlands in Argentina, and the basins of the Paraná, Paraguay, and Araguaia rivers. In some areas, such as Uruguay, the species is now considered extinct in the wild. The International Union for Conservation of Nature lists the marsh deer as near threatened, and it is included in Appendix IV of the Convention on International Trade in Endangered Species. In several regions, such as the Paraná River Delta in Argentina, it is considered endangered or even critically endangered. Primary threats include habitat loss and fragmentation, caused by agriculture, livestock ranching, dam construction, and plantation development. For example, the Sergio Mota Dam on the Paraná River in Brazil caused the population to drop from 974 to 444 individuals after 200,000 hectares of wetlands were submerged. The genus Ozotoceras has only one surviving representative, the pampas deer, which is scattered across open grasslands in central South America. In Portuguese, the pampas deer is called veado campeiro, and in Spanish it is known as venado or gama. The pampas deer is one of the signature species of South America's grassland ecosystems, though today it survives only in a few isolated populations. It primarily inhabits open plains, savannas, and seasonally flooded grasslands, where low but dense vegetation provides cover and supports a diet based mainly on soft vegetation and aquatic herbs. Only males have antlers, which typically feature 3 tines and are relatively lightweight. Antlers are shed annually, falling off in late winter and beginning to regrow in early summer. Another notable characteristic in males is the presence of well-developed scent glands on the hind legs, capable of releasing a strong odor detectable up to 1.5 kilometers away. Historically, the pampas deer had a wide distribution across eastern South America, from central Brazil to Uruguay, much of Argentina, and Bolivia. However, in recent decades, this range has drastically shrunk due to agricultural expansion, land development, and the rise of infrastructure such as hydroelectric dams and road networks. These changes have fragmented their habitats, resulting in small, isolated, and vulnerable populations. Current strongholds include the Pantanal and Cerrado regions of northeastern Brazil, while in Argentina, several subspecies are considered endangered or critically endangered. Lastly, the genus Pudu includes 2 small endemic deer species, native to the Andes Mountains. The name Pudu comes from the language of the indigenous Mapuche people, reflecting the deep cultural connection between this species and the traditional heritage of Chile and Argentina. The southern Pudu is a small endemic deer species found in the Valdivian temperate forests of south-central Chile and adjacent areas of Argentina, ranging from sea level to elevations of up to 2,000 meters. Its habitat varies from old-growth forests to secondary woodlands, where dense understory vegetation such as bamboo thickets and Nothofagus forests provide natural shelter. At the same time, it utilizes open patches with low ground cover for foraging. Today, the southern Pudu is listed as near threatened by the International Union for Conservation of Nature and is included in Appendix I of the Convention on International Trade in Endangered Species. Wild populations are estimated at fewer than 10,000 individuals, and genetic analyses reveal that they are isolated into distinct population groups, particularly on Chiloé Island. There are marked genetic differences between island and mainland populations, which may have been separated for over 200,000 years, highlighting the importance of preserving these distinct genetic lineages independently. From the largest to the smallest, the 10 genera and 24 species of New World deer have revealed a remarkably complex and diverse genetic landscape. Curious about the other 9 genera in the Old World deer subfamily and how their evolutionary traits and survival strategies compare to the species we've explored? Stay tuned for our next video. And for now, don't forget to like, share, subscribe, and turn on notifications so you won't miss the upcoming deep dive into 9 fascinating Cervinae species, part of the incredible family of 19 deer species around the world.